In 1976, Steve Jobs avenged his previous employer, Atari, by choosing a specific name for his new company. Why did he pick that name? I'll give you that one more time. In 1976, how did Steve Jobs avenge his previous employer, Atari, by choosing a specific name for his new company?
So, I have a sneaky suspicion he named his company Apple.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure.
that is definitely right. The first thing I have to ask is, does anyone know this? Has anyone heard this story? If you know it outright, Marques, you have your hand up. Right, you get to be the smug one here. You get to sit out this question. We'll take your word for it. If you have pen and paper, write down your answer. We'll take your word. We'll check in at the end, which means this one is for Hayley and Wren. You're absolutely right, Wren, that the new company was Apple.
I'm also not at all surprised that Marques knows the answer to this. This is one of those stories that I feel like I probably know and have just totally forgotten over time. For some reason, I keep thinking of Newton, walking around his apple orchard and apple falls on his head and he invents gravity. That's how it works, right?
There was.
That's kind of where my mind went to as well.
There was no gravity before Newton. He obviously invented it.
Nope. It was gravity-less before then. Steve Jobs famously invented Apple along with Steve Wozniak and another dude whose name I will never remember. But why did he choose the name Apple? Was he inspired by the whole apple diet that he had, where it's if you only eat apples, you never have to shower? Wasn't there something like that? Hayley, do you know?
I have never heard that in my life.
I know there's a load of people interested in a potato diet at the moment. That's...
What?
I feel like I've heard that too. I don't know.
It's been going around. I honestly don't know whether it's just a food conspiracy theory or some weird science thing that someone's found. But
I thought carbs were ment to be out. Or is it now back in? I get confused.
Honestly, I'm not going to try and endorse diet advice on a podcast about weird questions.
Well, here's a follow-up question. Was he inspired by a whole apple or an apple with a bite taken out of it already?
Maybe he stole his apple. Maybe in the last day, he had an apple in the fridge and he just thought, you know what, I'm just going to take a bite out of yours.
Until you said fridge, I kind of had that confused with the story of Genesis. No, this is just about the name, not the logo.
Okay.
Should I give hints? I feel like I got some decent hints.
I would love a hint.
Yeah, go on, drop one in.
So, think if you were really petty, and your previous, okay, right? So your previous job was at Atari, and you just want to get back at them. You want to make sure you've got the upper hand on them. Maybe you even want to beat them specifically in the 70s.
On a list? Alphabetically?
You probably, you definitely got it. Yeah.
No way.
So if you're going to open up the phone book and look for computer companies, Apple shows up before Atari because P shows up before T, but they both start with A. That's my guess.
Yeah, you are absolutely right, Wren. This was Jobs said that was partly the reason. Yeah, you got it, Marques. There's the phone screen. 1980 presentation, Jobs admitted the name was partly chosen for that. Also because, well, actually, does anyone want to guess the other reason he picked? Or at least the other reason he claimed in that presentation?
Because he loves apples.
Absolutely right, Hayley. Yes, I like apples were the exact words he used there. That's been tried in many other brazen ways. Can anyone just name some other companies that might have tried that?
I'm guessing it's an A, like Acme or...
you won't know the companies. Just some...
AARP.
Keep going.
Orange.
AAA.
Keep going.
AAA.
Quadruple A?
Answerphone would be a valid answer to that question.
Wow.
People have just come up with as many as possible just to get that listing slightly higher.
Would a 1 or a 0 or any number show up before an A alphabetized?
And they've tried that as well. Yes, absolutely right. When it went on to ordering by computer as opposed to physical typesetting, then people just use whatever came up first.
Dang, okay.
So the first 3 pages of the yellow pages are just the most petty business owners in the world. Just right at the very top.
You just skip the first few pages and go to W and you've got a good guy there.
Yeah, I always just started from the back. That was my lot in life. 2 W's for my names. I was always at the end.
You and Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Honestly, don't know where that came from, but never mind. Yes, in 1976, Steve Jobs was, in part, getting back at Atari by naming his new company Apple.